Good evening, baseball fans. It is Monday, July 1st. July 1st, people. Did you hear that? We are in July. I'm Suzy. That is Tom. This is Bourbon and Baseball Astros edition. And I'm going to get right into the rated R warning because I'm very, that's a lot of varies. Very happy. So I got to show it by cussing and using all of my 4-letter words. So I'm going to warn you right now. This is a rated R podcast for all of the 4-letter words, for all of the cuss words, and probably some inappropriate adult humor. I hope you don't mind. I'm very sorry. It's just who I am as a person. So if that's not your jam, that is quite okay. Just put some earmuffs on the little kids or head over to the Top Fan Rivalry Network and go find the Astros in Orbit show over there. There you will find PG-13, Suzy. Use the code SuzyQ, S-U-Z-Y-Q. You'll get a discount. I think it's a 10% discount off of the membership there. It's great. If you're not an Astros fan, I don't know why you'd be watching the show, but there are all of the other teams over there, obviously not with as good as hosts as myself. Bill's okay. He's a Dodger fan, but we'll forgive him for that. But go over there, find PG-13 Suzy. Or if you don't mind, rated R Suzy.
Stay
over here. With that said, hide your kids. Don't hide your wife. Just hide your kids. Put some earbuds in if you don't want the kids to listen. I'm not going to judge you either way, though. I'm not going to judge you. That's not for me to do that, okay? With that said, we're going to get right into it. Tom, guess what?
What?
We're over 500, and you can't
Let's
correct me
fucking
because
go.
now I know I'm right. We are over 500, people. Fucking over 500. And I say that we were over 500 yesterday when we beat the Mets. Today, we're recording after the Toronto game, so we are even more over 500. The winning percentage being, if I was a very good host, I would have this prepped for you, but we are over 500 at 5 people. 512, 43, and 41. Let's fucking go. We're going to get into standings because that's what I want to do because it makes me extremely happy.
Before you do this,
fine.
before you do it, I would just like to take a little victory lap because we had, I think it was like 4 or 5 shows ago, I can't even remember, but it was like what the Astros needed to do in June to get to where we are today.
Yes.
And I said the Astros needed to go 10-4, and Suzy looked at me like I was smoking some primo shit, the best. And she made that face look, you don't have to share, but if you do, I might not turn it away. And then she goes, how are they going to do that, Tom? That doesn't make any sense, Tom. And I walked through it and I said 10-4. And the Astros said, fuck you, Tom. We're going to go 11-3. So here we are. You may proceed.
Okay. With that said, we are 3 games back of the motherfucking Mariners, people. Motherfucking Mariners. Okay. So we are in Canada. Oh, Canada.
Hey.
I'm not going to sing anymore. We have Toronto for 3 more games. Seattle Mariners face the Baltimore Orioles for 3 games. And I hope the Baltimore Orioles just pummel the fucking Mariners. Just pummel them. That would just be delightful. I would love that. I would love to see Gunnar Henderson take George Kirby deep. Ooh, that had not... Home runs, people. Home runs. That's what I meant for that. That's the only thing that I meant for that. So, again, I would love to see that. But the Rangers are on a losing skid. The Angels, sneakily, are on a winning skid. They won 7 in a row. The Angels, bro. What?
7-3 over the last 10.
Yeah. So Texas is 8 games back of the Mariners. Angels are 9.5 games back. Oakland has regressed. I don't know what happened. And they are 17 games back, but we won't talk about Oakland. Guys, what did I tell you? I told you that the hottest AL team and the hottest NL team were going to meet over the series, and it was going to be very interesting to see who came out on top. Obviously, we took 2 of 3, and we came out on top. It was a hard-fought victory, though, and let's just get into it. Let's talk about the first game. First game, Altuve, our tiny, precious future Hall of Famer.
He's so sick of being precious because he's small.
I'm sorry. Listen, I spit facts over here, Tom. I can't help it if the word fits. All right? At some point in time, Chaz can be adorable, and he is much taller than Altuve. I spit facts. That's what I do over here. And Altuve, what does Altuve do the first game? First pitch, goes yard, just because of course he does. Fucking of course he does, right? And I said, that's great. We fucking love that. Let's keep it going. And for a little while they did. Nothing really monumental happened in the first. In the bottom of this first, JD Martinez singles. Francisco Alvarez hits a sac fly, and now we're tied at 1-1. The third inning, Yordan doubles, Yiner grounds out, Jeremy Pena singles, and now it's 2-1. And then the wheels started teetering just a skosh, just a little bit. Just Ronel didn't have the greatest of command. I don't know if he didn't use his normal amount of rosin or what the deal was, but his normal command wasn't there. It wasn't as great as we would like and as we have seen in games past. So the bottom of the fourth, TyroneTaylor hits another home run. And in that last episode where we went over the Mets roster and lineup, I said hitters like 1 through 5, 1 through 6 could probably hurt you. And then I don't know how, but TyroneTaylor somehow heard the not yet released episode that night and said, you know what, Suzy, fuck you, because I'm going to hit a home run against the Yankees. And I said, oh, JK. So literally 1 through 9 can just hit you a home run and just get out of there? Absolutely, because TyroneTaylor proceeded to do it in a couple of games in this series. So TyroneTaylor somehow heard the slander and said, fuck you, Suzy. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what I can do. So it was tied, bottom of the fourth, 2-2. AdamOttavino replaces Jose Quintana in the top of the fifth. And I said in that last episode, AdamOttavino will not probably be used unless it's a dire situation in a leverage spot. And tied 2-2, but it's the fifth inning. I don't know when the last time AdamOttavino came in that early in a game. I don't think he's seen the fifth inning since the, I don't know, beginnings of his career. I think he's got, 13 seasons in the big leagues? 12?
He's well-traveled.
He's well-traveled, yes. So the fact that they brought in AdamOttavino with the score tied in the fifth, I don't know if they trusted him. I don't know if they were like, what, we're tied, just go. With Christ be with you, our brother. Just do the things. And he consequently, Yordan singles. Yordan was feeling froggy that day because then he also stole a base. I'm all, sir, if you could not violently slide into second, I and the rest of the Astros fan base would appreciate it. Please and thank you. Right? I'm not the only one that just clutches my pearls every time he dives. Other people also gasp collectively when he just dives into a base or dives trying to catch a ball. That's not just me, right?
I do that with everybody. He's just a bigger human, so people are more fearful for the big man. I think he's 26, 27, something like that. So like at a certain point, he's still really young. But
yeah,
for
but
me,
hasn't he had
both
double knee
knees.
surgery?
He's had both knees. Yep. You're right.
So he's got the knees of a 90-year-old in
Maybe.
like a 26-year-old body.
You could make the argument the other way. They're brand new, baby. They get fresh tread. They haven't been used. He's got new wheels.
I don't. Yeah, that's a lot of pressure to be putting on the knees though, because he's a large human being. It worries me. Okay, it worries me more than when Jeremy Pena slides. Let's just put it that way. All right, or when Bregman slides, no worries, no worries. Jake, fine. Yordan going into a wall, heart attack all day, every day, baby. Anyhow, Yordan steals a base. Jakemeyers gets hit by a pitch. And then AdamOttavino proceeds to maneuver his way out of it. When I tell you this, when the Mets fans saw AdamOttavino come in with Yordan already on base, they had already thrown the white flag. And they said, you know what? Fuck it. This game's done. We're done. We're toast. And somehow he magically got out of it. And the Mets fans were thrilled. So happy.
So you're saying that's their Montero is what you're saying?
Pretty much. Yeah. We'll talk about Montero here in a little while too, because we have some insights. We have some things to say about Montero. But yeah, pretty much. They don't want to use it. They really don't. The sixth inning, John Singleton replaces ChasmcCcormick. John Singleton had himself a series in New York. He had one hell of a game on Sunday, and just overall series was fantastic. Proceeds to single. Joey had quite a harder time. I don't understand why Joey was put in on Friday's game against the left-hander when Saturday and Sunday we faced right-handers, but I don't know. Joe, I don't know what you're doing. It turned out okay. Yeah, it turned out okay. I'm a little confuzzled by that. The sixth inning is where it all goes to shit, though. The wheels just completely fall off. So JD Martinez strikes out swinging. Pete Alonso hits a homer. Single homer. Pete Alonso, home run derby champ for 2 years. That I expect that. Okay, Polar Bear. I'll give you that. That's fine. Francisco Alvarez doubles. Their catcher. Now I'm starting to worry. All right, that's okay. We're okay, right? It's just one run. It's fine. TyroneTaylor grounds out. Mark Vientos reaches on an error by Alexbregman, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if they got in late or if he just enjoyed his off day too much in New York, or if he was, I don't know what happened. But the normal Gold Glove defense that we're accustomed to from Breggy was not there. One there. And he made an error. Breggy made an error. Mark Vientos is now on base. And then fucking JeffMcNeil. Now I need you to know, people, there's 2 on and 2 outs. And JeffMcNeil steps to the plate. And at no point in time did anyone from Mets Nation expect JeffMcNeil to do what he did. On the 8th fucking pitch, he hits a 3-run bomb.
A pitch that was off the plate, too.
It was a changeup, but it was down. It was like still in the strike zone, but it was like right that bottom quadrant, bottom third. There we go. And he just turned on it. It was like middle down and just launched it. And it was a battle. Let's see. He got down 1-2. Kept fouling away pitches. And finally, they tried that changeup and didn't get the changeup down enough. And JeffMcNeil got the barrel to it and golfed it out. And I literally yelled, JeffMcNeil, because it was so aggravating that, granted, he was the batting champion 2 years ago, but he's fallen off quite hard and gotten moved down in the lineup. And he said, you know what? Fuck y'all. Look what I can do. And hits his 4th home run of the year. And now the score is 6-2 in the bottom of the 6th. Do you want to talk about the 7th, Tom? Because
you gave up on it by then?
I gave up. I didn't give up, but I was so mad. And I was all, I don't even know what to do anymore with this. I was tired. And also the strike zone made me real mad. And also I was at volleyball practice with my child. So there's that. But by that point, I was just so mad. And I was listening on the radio. So there goes your theory on that, Tom. There goes your theory on that.
So 7th is when the wheels fell off for the Astros. They come up top of the 7th. Alexbregman, who had a horrible day, both at the plate, leaving runners on base, just the whole 9. And then with that critical error that would have ended the inning, that then turned into a 3-run, 4 total, but it was 3 more runs. Really put the game out of reach. He lines out. Yordan doubles because he was red hot. It felt like everything he hit was just absolutely on the screws. Yainer singles, and then, okay, something's going. We're cooking. 1st and 3rd. Yeah, Yainer hit it so hard to Vientos that there was nowhere for Yordan to score. And then Jakemeyers gets called out on strikes. Jakemeyers all game long had a shitty strike zone. That low strike that was not being called was called on him all the time. And it was to the point where Jake is barking. He's walking off. He's barking. JoeEspada comes out. And again, we've been asking for this. We've been begging for Joe to get more vocal. He gets up in the umpire's face. Jim Wolf's have had enough. I thought it was really interesting. Jim Wolf was incredibly chatty with both catchers. And I felt like the Mets catcher was doing a really good job of just chirping him up. And I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong. But I totally felt like he earned a couple of calls just by chatting him up, just by over there, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then you get to this point, and I felt like Jim Wolf gave Jakemeyers a chance. He was like, all right, I get it. You're pissed off. I'm going to let you go. But Joe had enough. Joe was like, nope, I'm getting rung up. And that was what we needed for this team. I think that kind of set the tone for the rest of the series, and that set the tone for Sunday's game, which we'll get to. But nothing happened. Jeremy Pena walks. You've got bases loaded. Dubin, who had probably his worst game as a professional in terms of leaving guys on base, leaves them stranded, leaves the bases loaded for a second time. Any one of those go the other way, and then we're talking about a different ball game. And then from there, the score basically is what it is. The Mets tacked on 1 in the 8th, but the final score was 7-2.
But now I got to tell you about Jose Iglesias, y'all. You know that I'm a big vibes kind of girl, right? The All the Balls podcast with Kelsey and I, we love the vibes. We love the fucking vibes. Tom less so, but Tom can enjoy the vibes, but it's just whatever for him. Me, I enjoy the vibes. What about it, Tom? Am I wrong?
I'm this way. I'm not going to knock vibes, but do I believe they win baseball games? I do not. I believe that if teams are winning, the vibes are going to be good. If teams are losing, the vibes are going to be bad. So I don't think you get one without the other. Like they're either winning and the
Um,
vibes are good, or they're losing and the vibes are bad.
I seem to recall the DM on Instagram about Jose Iglesias. Now, if you guys don't know about Jose Iglesias, is a utility guy for the Mets. He'd been DFA'd from a couple of different teams, and the Mets picked him up in the off season in his spare time. He decides that he would like to be a Latin pop star. I'm sorry. What? Jose Iglesias, his stage name, quote unquote, is Candelita, and he just released his new song called OMG. I don't know the translation. I will listen to this song all fucking day long, though, because it's got such a good beat and it's so catchy. And part of the song is, oh my God. And the beat's great. And you just keep repeating, oh my God. I don't know why, but you do. When I tell you that after that Friday night loss for us, Friday night win for them, obviously, the vibes were so fucking high. I'm pretty sure there was going to be a concert regardless of what happened in the game, but it just was amplified from that win. There was a motherfucking concert after this game. My 41-year-old niece were not happy with me because I'm over here dancing up a storm. The DJ's playing good music, and then the entire team, the entire Mets team comes out on the field because Jose Iglesias is performing his fucking song, OMG. Vibes, people. The vibes were so high and they were so good. And not saying that Jose Iglesias is a mascot by any means, but he hasn't been the star, quote unquote, player. He's been the utility guy. And quite honestly, the Mets fan base really wants Jose Iglesias to be this everyday second baseman over Jeff McNeil, mainly because of the vibes. But the other reason is because he's been outplaying Jeff McNeil hand over fist. The fact that in Jose Iglesias' downtime, he just turns into this Latin pop star and is now singing the song. Like now it's their anthem. So now we've moved on from the Grimace Mets, the Grimettes, to Jose Iglesias and this song. And Friday night, Tom, you texted me the video of Jose Iglesias performs OMG, and you said, fuck, how are you supposed to beat a team with those vibes?
Because I
And I
know
said, you
you.
can't. I said, you
Because I
can't.
knew exactly what you would say.
No.
I was playing to my crowd. And my point
Sure.
that I'm trying to make is that what happened the very next day? The vibes were high. They should have won they should have swept the Astros. That
No,
concert.
no.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
No.
Because vibe. They should have lost the next day, right? They had a 6-1 lead. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
But
All I'm
like
saying, people, all
I,
I'm
I'm not
saying,
I'm not
nope.
saying you can't have vibes. You need to have vibes. Sure, absolutely. You need to have guys in the clubhouse that are a vibe because that is the positive energy. You need to have all of that. But to say that you win on vibes alone, that the
I'm not saying
Astros
that I'm not saying you win on vibes alone. I'm not saying that. But the vibes help. The vibes fucking help.
I think it had a lot to do with why they came out so strong the next day. I think they were just going to ride that wave, which you do. But I got news for you. You still got to have the horses to do it. And the Astros proved like, hey, which again, I'm segueing. Maybe they didn't have enough horses.
No, I'm pretty sure they did. Pretty sure they had enough horses. Our horses were just better, though. Our horses were just better.
Okay. I'm with that too.
No.
I'm with that too.
All I'm saying is that if the Astros were to have a pop star, what would Jeremy Pena's pop star name be? That's all I'm asking. Okay. Or would Jeremy Pena and Mauriciodubon form some sort of boy band?
You've seen it actually be Dubin and Yordan because they're like blood brothers. I could totally see that being a thing. But obviously, Pena is going to be the Pena Coladas straight from HEB.
There you go. The Pena Coladas. So you're welcome. You're welcome, Astros Twitter, Astros fan base, because that Saturday I said, Jake, fuck you. I'm moving you out of my lineup. You did shit Friday night. You minused me points. You are out of my lineup. And Jake heard the slander. Jake knew that I benched him and said, all right, fine, Suzy. Look what I can do.
I would say that the whole team heard your slander, and that's why they took off. Because I got a text that said, Tom, we're never winning again. And right up to that point, Stros went to work.
No, they're not telepathically linked into the things. That's not what they're doing. Now, did they hear the slander? Maybe, possibly. I'm just saying. We're never winning again.
Just you.
May just be a little bit tongue-in-cheek. Just a little tongue-in-cheek, mainly because, again, I am an Asian tiger mom, and I expect perfection out of my baseball team. All right? I'm just saying. People, I'm just saying. But that second game, they come out, and Jakemeyers hits a home run after a 10-pitch at-bat. 10-pitch at-bat. And how long have we begged these Astros to pass the fucking baton? Quit trying to hit dingers. We'll take it if it happens. But to work an AB, right? To work a fucking at-bat. And Jakemeyers did. He worked this at-bat. And on the 10th pitch, a 97.8-mile-an-hour fastball. Almost cement mixer. Just a perfect dick-high fastball. Just right down the middle. Jake says, "See you later, ball." And there goes 6.5 points on my bench. So we get the party started with Jakemeyers hitting the solo bomb. And then in the bottom of the second, TyroneTaylor walks, Mark Vientos singles, Jose Iglesias singles. And then there was a throwing error by frambervaldez. This entire I was like, don't let the wheels fall off. Don't let the wheels fall off. Shake it off, Framber. Shake it off. It'll be okay. A run scores, so it's 1-1, and then Harrison Bader singles, and now it's 2-1. And then franciscolindor strikes out. Brandon Nimmo doubles. Now it's 3-1. jdmartinez strikes out. Pete Alonso singles, and now it's 5-1. And I'm over here dying because I was all, what happened? But we were doing so well. It was going so good. The vibes got him. The vibes, people, the vibes. And then the bottom of the third. Remember how I told you that TyroneTaylor could hurt you? And then Mark Vientos, their third baseman, could also hurt you. Literally the entire lineup could hurt you. Mark Vientos said, huh? Yeah, look what I can do. And proceeds to hit his 10th home run of the season. And now it's 6-1. And now that's in the third, and I was dying. Legitimately clutching pearls, dying.
All of Twitter, all of Astros Twitter right there with you. Framber strapped into a rocket, and they may do that because this guy is legitimately like the most, what's the good adjective? It's like mercurial.
Dr. Jekyll
like,
and Mr. Hyde.
Like he is all over the place. And I heard something on Sports Talk Radio the following day that was very interesting. And I never thought about it until somebody said it. And I was like, okay. I heard somebody, caller called in to Sports Talk 790, Shawn Salisbury, those guys, and basically said that they feel that this has something to do with the Astros going and acquiring Justin Verlander, because he felt like he was getting the baton and then they felt like they were ripping it back out. He pitches well and then he pitches bad because it's okay. I showed what I can do. And then it comes back out. And then if things aren't perfect, pristine, he has this prima donna-ness, which you can see. You can really see the way he shakes guys off, the way he just peacocks around a little bit. Like he feels like he should be getting the ace treatment that he's not getting. And the fact that some of those pitches are really close and he's not getting calls, he just doesn't, he feels disrespected. And I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. And I don't know that you can fix that. So for me, as much as I love what he brings as far as ability to get ground balls and go deep into games and be a left-hander and all those things, I don't know if I want the Astros to invest big money in this guy.
I don't know. We've said on this show many a time that we don't know which Framber we're going to get on a start-to-start basis. And we say this. However, if you go back and you look at his record, he has had more good games than bad. It's just when the bad games happen, they're real bad and they really leave an imprint in your memory. A la being up, 8-1, 7-1 in that Angels game, and then
giving it all back
to go off the fucking reservation. And Yainer has not caught. Framber sends that blow up. Now are you going to blame Cesar for this? You don't have Victor Caratini to back up. Victor cannot catch you, Framber. Okay, so you got to decide which one of these is the quote unquote lesser evil, apparently, because Cesar had been catching Framber the last couple of times since Caratini has been out, and now I'm over here wondering, you just gonna catch yourself? What are you gonna do, Framber? You got to decide. It'll be really interesting to see his next start if Yainer is out there or if Cesar is out there or what's gonna happen, because I don't know. I love the energy that he brings. I just don't know if the ace, quote unquote, of the staff can be this, I say volatile. When I say that I want a stopper of a team, I need to know that when it's every fifth day, every sixth day, when it is your turn, you're going to go out there and you're going to do the things. The ace of the staff, that's what I expect. And the fact that there has been more than one of these blowups in recent memory, Framber, what are we doing? We can't be doing this. We can't be doing this. And it's just really aggravating to see that he can't get out of his own way most of the time. And it is one of those, the ump is not going to give you the calls 75% of the time. And
just because of the star. Just because of the star, not because of anything else. There's everybody else. Spencer's not getting them. Hunter's not getting them. There's a list. He's not the only one. And I bring up the whole giving him big money. He's a free agent at the same time Tuck is. So you're looking at a year and a half before you have to pay him. And I don't know what that number is or what it looks like. But if he wants ace type money, what do you do?
If he wants ace type money, then you need to go out and have no more blow up starts this season and no more blow up starts like next season. I'll give you one next season. Okay. I will give you one because
everybody gets one.
Everyone gets one, right? You cannot be perfect. If you're Asian, you obviously could, but you can't be perfect all the time. So you get one blow up start, Fromber, one. But we cannot be having these, every third, fourth game? It's a little ridiculous is what it is. And I don't know if he's pouting or if he's just aggravated that he's not getting the calls. You should probably be used to that by now, Fromber. You want all the calls, you need to be on some other team because this is not the team for that, where you're going to get the calls because of your team. That's not it. Let's see. The top of the fourth, Yordan singles. Jakemeyers gets hit by a pitch. Jeremy Pena doubles. And now it's 6-3. And we're like, okay, all right, let's do this. Let's keep it rolling, people. Let's keep it rolling. Jonsingleton singles. Drives in Jeremy Pena. It's 4-6. All right, we'll take that. There is life and there is fight. And those are two things that we haven't really seen a lot of when we've been down, right? Early in the game. It's not a blasé attitude, but it's just one of those feelings where you're like, I don't know if they're going to come back from this. And you could tell that they're like, no, we got this, people. Just let us work. Let us work. They said, okay. Top of the fifth, Jose Altuve walks. Alexbregman grounds out. Alvarez walks, and then a strikeout and a strikeout, and we left 43 men on base. We didn't leave 43 men on base, but we felt like it. Really did feel like it. But let's see. The bottom of the seventh, top of the eighth. Here we go. But top of the eighth, all of the switches happen. Jake Diekman comes in. Remember how I told you guys that they're leverage guys? To remember those guys? Jake Diekman comes in and walks Jakemeyers. Now, I need you guys to know, I was at the Sugarland Space Cowboys game during this game. So I was listening on the radio and I could see the TV at the bar, but it was very far away. So I was listening to this on the radio and I'm all, oh, Jake Diekman came in. Okay. I'm like, which version of Jake Diekman are we going to get? And he proceeds to walk Jake. And I'm all, we've got life. Let's go. So I'm watching my kids at the splash pad. And I got one earbud in and I'm looking at my phone. And then I'm telling Ashley what's happening because she also can't see the TV. And I'm like, we got to walk. I was like, now we got to walk. Obviously, the radio broadcast is not 30 seconds. I'd probably say 15 seconds faster than what was happening on the TV. And so other people were like now listening to what I was saying. I was all, so sorry. I apologize. I don't need to.
The introvert's like, oh, don't look.
Yeah. I was like, sorry. Then Jeremy Pena works a walk. And I was like, okay, all right. We can do this. We can do this, people. We got 2 on now and no outs. 2 on and no outs. And then what does Chaz proceed to do? Chaz, my guy, what are we doing? Chaz.
I'm watching the game going, somewhere Suzy is cursing this man so hard.
3 pitches outside the zone, bro.
Yeah.
Outside. Chaz, I realize that you are pressing. I get it. I do. I understand. And you are seeing your playing time diminish because you have been scuffling. But did the most uncompetitive at bat. And it hurts my heart. It legitimately hurts my soul to see Jake have the ascent that he has and that Chaz has just fallen. And it hurts my heart, Chaz. Where are you? I need that Chaz back. Okay. For the audio only people, I'm pointing to the picture of Game 5 catch World Series. That's what I'm pointing to. I need that Chaz back.
You guys got him covered up with the little 1-up thing.
With the one, yeah.
You may need to clear that. I think that's bad.
That's blocking the energy. Okay.
You know, he can't get the vibes through the foam.
All right. We will, after the episode is done, I will move the foam finger
tomorrow.
We'll see. If that happens, we'll build a shrine to Chaz. That's
Candles.
fine. I can do that. I can do that. I am capable of doing that. That can be a thing. But my guy, Chaz, is not having a good time because he literally, Jake Diekman could not have asked for a better at bat because there is no Jake Diekman did not have any sort of control. I don't know if he didn't have a grip on the ball or if he just missed his release point. I don't know. But you could tell that this man did not have any sort of control. And I'm like, Chaz, just all you had to do was stand there, bro. You didn't need to swing. Three swinging. Just I'm at a loss for words because it hurts my soul that much, people. It hurts my soul that much. And I was like, okay, that's all right. That's okay. That's just the one out, right? It's okay. So we got 2 on now and 1 out. I'm all right. Doobie. Do it, Doobie. Come on. Make up for the fact of what you did. Grounds out. I'm all, sir, you're supposed to put the bat on the ball and we have a runner in scoring position. What are we doing? No, that's not what okay. All right. That's fine. And then Trey. Okay. So I missed this originally and then had to read it again. Right. So they pinch hit Cooper Hummel for Cesar Salazar. Right.
Correct. And then the Mets turned around and said, oh, no, we're going to bring Reed Garrett. So then Joe said, oh, no, we're going to bring Trey Cabbage. And it was the cool chess game that managers play to try to get the matchup they want.
True or false? If Dusty Baker was still our manager, would that have happened?
You're asking the wrong person because I'm going to tell you 100% abso-fucking-lutely not. Dusty would have been like, I know Cesar Salazar's mama. She goes to church with me on Sundays, and I had a feeling that Cesar was going to do it, and he's not going to do it then. He's going to do it next week, and y'all are going to thank me, as Cesar would have proceeded to strike out.
Okay. So Trey Cabbage works a walk, but apparently no one had the right count. I'm all, what's happening? Like, I'm watching it.
So good.
I'm watching it on the game, like the Statcast, the game day app, and I'm all, he should have worked a walk. That's all of the pitches that you need to, what's happening. And the radio broadcast was saying, oh, no, they have it as a 3-2 count. So I'm all, no, but it's not a 3-2 count. What are we doing here? I cannot believe that they counted, or I guess the whole thing was like one of the swinging strikes.
It wasn't even that.
One of the balls that they thought he swung at or whatever was like a foul or something.
It was just the ball was in the dirt. He didn't even swing. And I guess at some point he did the wrong thing with the clicker. So the Space City guys had it right. They had 3-2. And I guess because the umpire was yelling out balls and strikes in the background, Cabbage was even up there. Okay. And he just sat in because he was listening to the umpire. And then TK and Blum are like, that should be a walk. And then you see Joe come sprinting out like, whoa. And then they end up challenging it. And they're like, and then the Space City guys showed the ball where it was just like a pitch in the dirt. But I guess they assumed it was a foul, or the rookie umpire, I believe, assumed it was a foul ball and didn't count it.
Yeah. So there was a umpire review, but Trey Cabbage works the walk. And now I'm dying. I'm literally at the Sugarland Space Cowboys game dying with each pitch now. And I was like, what is going to happen? Oh my gosh. So now the bases are juiced. And wouldn't you know it, Reed Garrett throws a wild pitch. And now I'm like, oh my God, the wild pitch. Jakemeyers runs in. And now the score is 5-6. Now, granted, I'm not the only one paying attention to this game, right? So there is an actual cheer that happens. And not gonna lie, some children looked at me because I may or may not have dropped an expletive. Okay, I apologize. I lost myself in the moment. I looked around very quickly to see if a parent was giving me stink eye. They were not. I don't know whose kid heard what I said, but the parent was not around to give me stink eye. So whatever. I apologize. I'm so sorry. So now, like I said, it's 5-6. And now Jose Altuve works a walk. And I'm like, oh my God, Jose, I love you. Thank you. Thank you, Jose. Because Jose is either going to swing out of his shoes or he's going to work a walk, right? We have equal chances of either thing happening. And then Breggy comes up. And I don't think I have prayed any harder than I had that I bat. I was like, please, for the love of God, Bregman, just do something, anything. And once you know it, the 7th pitch, I get the little, on the game day app, the little ball when it's in play or there's runs, it's blue. Guys, I need you to know that it's blue. So I'm not just saying this because I'm inappropriate, but the little ball turned blue and it was the best blue ball that I've ever seen in my entire life because that means there were runs scored. And I was like, yes. Alexbregman hits a single and now it's 7-6. And at this point, Carlos, the Mets manager, has seen enough, comes walking out, replaces Reed Garrett with Danny Young to try and get Yordan Alvarez with runners on the corner and 2 outs. And Danny Young does. He gets Yordan.
It was a
Okay,
great
though.
AB by Bregman because he got down in the count and Reed Garrett wasn't able to locate at all to Altuve. I don't know if he just didn't want anything to do with him or what. Like nothing was competitive. And then he went right after Bregman, got him in a hole, and then he battled, and then got a pitch outside or away from him and just went with the pitch instead of trying to roll it over and shot into right field. Bregman had himself a really good series as well after that point. And I think that was like what released him because he had a really good day today too.
Yep. So now the bottom of the eighth, and Ryan Presley comes in, and I was praying hard. I was like, come on, Ryan. I was like, you can do this. 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 And not gonna lie, there were some of these at bats that were lengthy, right? The first one was 6 pitches, 6-pitch strikeout to Jose Iglesias, a 7-pitch flyout to Harrison Bader. Then Francisco Lindor singles on a 9-pitch at bat. 9-pitch at bat. And Sparky and Robert Ford were even mentioning on the broadcast that Ryan Presley was breathing hard. It was laborious for him. And I'm all, Ryan, please do not do that. I need you to center yourself. Just please get out of this. You can do it. I have faith. Tenuous, but I have faith. And then he just goes right after Nimmo. 2 pitches. But I wasn't going to lie, though. I was quite worried, especially after that 9-pitch at bat, that Lindor just kept fouling off pitches and kept fouling off pitches and finally hit the single. Well, okay, Brendan Nimmo, don't hurt us. And he didn't. 2 pitches later, Brendan Nimmo grounded out, and we were out of the 8th. And I was like, okay, we are up. We are up. We can do this, people. 7-6. I would like some insurance runs. Please, for the love of God, give me insurance runs. I would love that. Please. Yiner singles, Jakemeyers singles. Guys, when I say that this is a thing of beauty, Jeremy Pena goes up and sack bunts. If you are not on the YouTube, go watch the YouTube. I just died. I literally just died. I was so happy. Instead of swinging away and trying for a 3-run blast, which we know that Jeremy Pena is capable of doing, pass the baton, baby. Pass the baton, trusted the guys behind him, and moved the runners into scoring position even more, right? So we moved Yiner and Jake to second and third. And then Chaz comes up again, and I'm like, my guy, Chaz, please, for the love of God, do something.
Redemption.
Right? He does not. He does not. Takes, again, one of the most uncompetitive ABs. For the love of God, Chaz. What is happening? Called for a strike. And then the second and third pitches weren't even in the zone. Weren't even close to the zone. So far beneath the zone. So far. Oh, okay. We're now in our heads is where we're at, Chaz. That's what we're doing. He's battling right now. Just battling. I'm like, okay, Chaz. That hurts, but whatever. And then Mauricio, I'm like, for the love of God, Doobie, please do something. Anything? Yes? No? Maybe? All right. So Doobie comes up, 2 on, 2 out. And remember how I said that here on the Astros, so you just get a zone that is not maybe the other team's zone. And of course, the second pitch of this at bat is like almost in the other batter's box. I mean, it was outside. I'm all, what are we doing? But the 5th pitch, Doobie hits a double, and it is 9-6. And I think I screamed really loud enough to where like my kids came over to ask what had happened, and I told them, and they were very excited.
Are you okay, Mom?
They're like, did we win? And I go, listen, it's looking better, but I'm not going to say that we won. I was like, but it's 9-6. Josh Hader's going to come in. I'll let you know. Because again, I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch. I just had to explain to my children what that phrase meant, and it was adorable. So then Josh Hader comes in, shuts him down, fly out, strikeout. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and I loved it, and I loved everything about it. And I breathed a sigh of relief. But I was a little worried about Sunday's game. Were you worried about Sunday's game?
When they said it was going to be a bullpen game, I was like, can either go one of 2 ways. Either they've never seen Dubin and he can come out and be good, and then it just becomes a grinded out thing, or they can beat the brakes off of him and it can be a slugfest. I felt good about the Astros because of what they did on Saturday. Saturday was one of those games that earlier in the season, they're losing that game. It probably would have spiraled further out of control. The bullpen would have came in and gave up some runs. The bullpen was dominant after Framber. Those 6 runs were given up by Framber and then nothing else. I think they gave up 1 hit after that, and we did really well. I felt good about the offense, which is weird to say with the Astros right now without Kyle Tucker in the middle of it. Like, how do we feel good knowing that one of our best weapons is not available? So going into that game, I was just like, all right, offense can start it early and then piece it together, and it turned out pretty good.
Yep. So the third game was the bullpen game that was pieced together by hopes and prayers and our amazing bullpen usage. Shout out Shawn Dubin, who started that game. So Shawn Dubin versus Luis Severino. And I will give Sebi some credit because he was rocking some really good pitching as well. Obviously, ours was just a little bit better. So the top of the second inning, John Singleton goes big fly. We absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Like I said, he had himself a series, people. And I'm hoping just a little bit that will be rewarded with a little bit more playing time. Mauriciodubon has played all over the diamond, pretty much every game. A lot of those games at first. Can we give Singleton a little bit more time there? I would love that, please and thank you. And John Singleton hit his 6th home run of the season, and I'm now cheering so loudly, and it was delightful. So now it is 1-0, top of the 4th, Breggy doubles, Yordan walks, Yainer singles, and now it's 2-0. Jake, remember when I said Jake was on the shit list? Jake had himself a night. A night. He went, 3 for 4 with the home run and I think 2 doubles. So I said, okay, all right, Jake, you've redeemed yourself. I will put you back in the lineup. I should just bench Jake. When I bench Jake, Jake does all the good things. I need you to know that I lost this week. I lost by 12 points. Yeah. Jakemeyers had 11.5 points the night that I benched him. That night, I think I left 27 points on the bench. So good. I love that for me. Anyhow,
It happens when you have too many good players.
apparently, yeah. So going back to Jakemeyers doing all of the good things for the Astros, like the actual Astros, not my fantasy team. So top of the 4th, Jake grounds out. Yordan scores, and now it's 3-0. And I was like, all right, let's go. Keep going. Keep tacking on runs because we love it. So in the top of the 5th, Mauricio singles, Jose Altuve singles, and now it's 4-0. And we're just tacking on all of the runs because guess what, guys? That's what we want to do. The bottom of the 6th. So the bullpen went from Shawn Dubin, who really was only supposed to go, I think they said like 35 pitches, right?
Yeah, Brian McTaggart was tweeting that out a lot, but then I also read where they were hoping to get him one time through the lineup, which to me that doesn't make any sense because how are you going to go through 9 guys and only throw 35 pitches? You got to be really effective to do it. I'm not saying you can't, but that math didn't math. So him going the 3 1/3 made more sense, and that pitch count was way higher than 35 pitches.
Yeah, I want to say that I think it was like in the 50s.
55.
55, yep. So the bottom of the 4th, he gets jdmartinez to ground out, and then Pete Alonso walks, and at that point in time, Brian King comes in. I need you to remember these names, people. It started with Shawn Dubin, and now we're going to Brian King. If you're new around here, Brian King has only been on the team for 3 minutes, okay? I think this is his second
I think it was his third
appearance. Second or third appearance in an Astros game. Brian King, Bryan King. Brian King comes in and gets DJ Stewart to pop out, walks Mark Vientos, and then gets TyroneTaylor to pop out. And we're like, sweet. All right, Brian King, give me more of this. Love that. That was, like I said, in the bottom of the 4th inning. The bottom of the 5th inning, he gets Luis Torrens to ground out. I almost said grind out because I was trying to be proper, but that's not a thing in baseball. Grinding out, no, that's not what we're doing. He gets JeffMcNeil to strike out, and then Franciscolindor also to ground out. And now we're in the bottom of the 6th. Seth Martinez replaces Brian King. So the fact that he went, 2 innings? 2 1/3 innings?
Seth Martinez went 1 inning.
No, Brian King, sorry.
1 2/3. I'm sorry.
1 2/3. There we go. And then Seth Martinez comes in. Now, remember when we had said, where's Seth Martinez? Is Seth Martinez dead? Seth Martinez has sat for, I don't know, 43 days. No, not really, but he had sat for quite a few days. And I want to say maybe he was just a little rusty, just a little bit rusty because his command kind of was all over the place as well. So first batter was Brandon Nimmo, gives up a single. JD Martinez strikes out, and then Pete Alonso doubles. And this was just a beautiful sinker that was just low and couldn't Pete Alonso's wheelhouse. He just turned on it and I'm going to just tip my cap. Pete Alonso. All right. DJ Stewart strikes out. And then Mark Vientos is going to be a problem for the rest of the NL for quite some time, people. Remember the name, third baseman Mark Vientos, because he's going to be a problem. He doubles. Brandon Nimmo scores. Pete Alonso scores. And now it is 4-2. But TyroneTaylor flies out. Seth Martinez gets TyroneTaylor to fly out. And I'm like, all right, let's do this, people. Let's do this. We can do this. You can do this. Score more runs. Please score more runs. I would love it if you scored more runs. John Singleton heard my plea and said, I got you, Suzy. Let me hit. He gets a single. Jeremy Pena flies out. Mauriciodubon strikes out. Trey Cabbage, have yourself a day, sir, because you double. And now, okay, so now we have runners on second and third. Let's do this. It doesn't happen. It doesn't. I'm like, all right, whatever. That's not great. That's not great. Because why does it not happen, Tom?
Because that's the favorite pastime of the Houston Astros, leave runners in scoring position.
That too, but there was an ejection that happened.
Oh, you would like me to speak to that?
Yeah.
Jose Altuve did not have, I guess, any luck with whatever umpire. Though that's the rookie umpire, right? So first major league start coming up from the minor leagues, he comes up and Jose Altuve fouls the ball off his toe, and you can see him visibly in pain as he fouls this ball off his toe, and it rolls into the playing field. Nobody calls it dead. Everybody just plays on, and they throw Altuve out. So Altuve, who's stumbling around, is now beside himself going, it hit my foot. It hit my foot. So everybody stops. Espada comes out of the dugout. They turn around and decide, the umpires confer. They decide that there was not enough to warrant a challenge, and they didn't see it, so they're going to call him out. Altuve loses his shit. Rare sight indeed. You never see Jose Altuve this animated. Slams his helmet, slams his bat. You've got an assistant coach basically trying to tackle Jose Altuve, which is twice this man's size. Altuve does not care. He's trying to walk through this dude to get to this umpire. And now you've got JoeEspada. He's out there going to war. But Altuve is hot. And that ended an inning because you had a runner at second and third. It was a big spot in the game. Could have added the insurance runs that the Astros would have needed. And it ended up making the game a lot longer than it had to be.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So now you ask, Suzy, Tom, couldn't they just challenge their play? Can't they just review the play? Nope. Nope, they couldn't have. They could not, because apparently it's not a reviewable play. I don't understand. I'm sure that it is laid out somewhere in the rules what is challengeable and what is not reviewable and all of that. And I understand why not everything is reviewable or challengeable. But if a hit by pitch can be reviewed, why couldn't this? That's what I don't understand. If fouls can be reviewed, why could this not be reviewed? Either all of the things need to be reviewable or none of the things need to be reviewable. But the fact that the umpires conferred and nobody saw anything, and the third base umpire was staring right at him. What are we doing? Basically, the ball fouled off Jose Altuve's toe, but Luis Severino just played it as it was, like it was a live ball. And you're like, wait, what happened? Why is he out? I don't understand. So the fact that it couldn't have even been like a hit by pitch, or why could you not review this foul ball? I don't understand. And we won't ever understand because nobody gets to ask the umpires fucking anything ever. And it's just so frustrating that the umpires basically just get to do anything they want, essentially. You can be a horrible freaking umpire and still have a job. You just maybe won't umpire in the playoffs. That's fine. Just so mad. Jose Altuve gets ejected for the second time in his career. People. I think the last time he got ejected was in 2016.
Suzy wasn't even a fan then.
Exactly. This is my first time seeing him this animated. I say that. Technically, it's my second time because the first time, it was that other time when he got really heated. He's been heated. But you should know that this is not, if Jose Altuve, the calmest man in baseball, is heated over something, maybe you should listen because it's not him. It's not who he is as a person. So if he feels wronged, maybe, I don't know, maybe you should listen. Don't know, just saying. So it's 4-2, the bottom of the seventh. Bryan Abreu comes in. Now, we want to say that we hadn't seen Seth Martinez in a while. We hadn't seen Bryan Abreu in a long ass while. I think
9 days.
9 days. There's something to be said about rest versus rust, right? Needless to say, Bryan Abreu was rusty. Walks Luis Torrens on 7 pitches. The Jeff McNeil, and I was like, okay, Jeff McNeil, don't do anything. Don't be a hero, sir. All right. He strikes out swings. So I'm like, cool. That's fine. We got 1 out. That's good. Franciscolindor get to fly out on 3 pitches. I'm like, all right, we got this. We got this. No, we don't. No, we fucking don't. Because Brandon Nimmo comes in and proceeds to hit a 2-run bomb. 2-run bomb on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Essentially Dick High fastball. Just, he totally missed his spot. Totally just missed his spot. And Brandon Nimmo said, I got this. Let me get it. And ties up the game. JD Martinez walks on 4 pitches that were not even close to the strike zone. So I don't know if he was just unintentionally, intentionally, whatever, or if he just really didn't have his release point and couldn't get it. And then Pete Alonso strikes out. And I was like, oh, all right. It's now 4-4. That's fine. That's great. Jakemeyers, when I said did not have a day, because in the top of the 8th, Yiner doubles. And I'm like, cool. All right. Got someone on. Jakemeyers said, nope, I'm going to strike out. No insurance runs to be had, people.
I'm going to strike out. This is what I'm doing.
No insurance runs. So the top of the 9th, John Singleton, when I told you John Singleton had a day, he did, because he singled again. And then Joey Loperfido was pinch run for John Singleton. Jeremy Pena lines out. I didn't obviously get to watch this part. What happened? Because Jeremy Pena lines out, and then Joey Loperfido gets caught stealing. Was there a hit and run that Mauriciodubon just missed? What happened there?
I don't know. I still, to this point, do not know if their signs got crossed up, because Joey Loperfido was out by a mile. Like, it was not close. I don't know if he was like, I'm going to go halfway, whatever, because it wasn't. And supposedly that was like I guess the second runner that, I forget the catcher's name, Torrens has thrown out in his career. So it's not like Torrens is some big time gunslinger out there throwing out guys left and right. It was definitely a botch play, in my opinion.
Now we're at the bottom of the 9th, people. Remind you, the score is tied. Bottom of the 9th, there's a rain delay. What? A rain delay. And it was going on for, I think they said 2.5 hours, I think was the full time. But they kept getting like pockets of, oh, we may play. Oh, we may play. Oh, we may. So it wasn't a restful 2.5 hours. It was like every 30 minutes they were warming up or trying to get locked back in. So I don't even know how you stay locked in for something like this. But the bottom of the 9th comes in, and Taylor Scott replaces Ryan Presley. Taylor Scott replaces Ryan Presley.
Taylor Scott replaced Josh Hader, who Josh Hader got burned in the bottom of the 9th inning, because literally as the Astros were taking the field and Josh Hader was brought out of the bullpen, they called it. So clearly you don't want to injure Josh Hader, so you can't bring him out after warming him up 2 hours and 37 minutes later is, I think, what they said, or something like that. So Josh Hader cooked. So now you are left with Taylor Scott, Montero, and Contreras. That's all you had left. So Taylor Scott comes out.
Taylor Scott comes out. Taylor Scott's arm's going to fall off too at some point. I'm like, oh my God. Taylor Scott.
I thought that too. And then I looked him up. He's 32 and he's got 87 innings total, and 40 of them are this year. So he's as fresh as they come.
I don't know if they're as fresh as they come, because if he has 82 innings total and 40 of them have been this year, that's a lot of wear and tear on an arm that's maybe not used to this amount of work. I'm just saying, but he's been solid for us. Yeah. He has been solid for us. And like I said, I don't know where we would be in this bullpen without Taylor Scott, because I want to say he has a sub-2 ERA now.
1.49.
That's minuscule, people. That is minuscule. So Taylor Scott, have yourself a day, because he comes in and gets 3 ground outs. Thank you, Jesus. All right. Top of the 10th, AdamOttavino. Remember how I said AdamOttavino, you won't see him in leverage situations unless it's dire? It's dire, people, because at no point in time did anyone from the Mets want to see AdamOttavino come in the top of the 10th with a runner on. Literally, he's the Mets' Rafael Montero. As soon as Ottavino came in, all of Mets Twitter went nuts, and you just knew that this game was blown. Trey Cabbage flies out. Mauricio moves to 3rd. ChasmcCcormick. Chaz, my guy. After having the 2 rough ABs, he redeems himself and gets a single on a slider away, and Mauriciodubon scores, and now it's 5-4, and I was so excited. But then he turned around and got caught stealing. Chaz, what are we doing?
I don't know what that was about either, because while it was closer, why steal when you got, I want to say it was 2 plate? Or
no, it was Bregman, because Chaz had to come in because Altuve got ejected. So Chaz was leading off.
Where are you going? Let that man hit.
Don't know. Do not know. So it was annoying, to say the least. So Taylor Scott, like I said, comes in the 10th inning, bottom of the 10th. Franciscolindor is at second base, that whole ghost runner. Franciscolindor starts off the inning at second base. Brandon Nimmo immediately doubles and ties the score, and I'm dying now. Okay, 5-5, that's fine. JD Martinez strikes out. Taylor Scott intentionally walks Pete Alonso, thank Jesus, and then gets Harrison Bader and Mark Vientos to ground out. I was so excited. All right, here we go. Here we go. Matt Festa, come on down.
If there's anybody worse.
You know that the Mets bullpen is thin when they bring out Matt Festa in the 11th because they've burned all of their other pitchers. And now Matt Festa had been in the Mariners organization for a while, got DFA'd, or maybe he got traded. I don't remember, but came into the Mets organization and had been in their AAA system. And this was his first game up with the big club. First game up. It didn't turn out well for Matt Festa. Let's just start there. Alexbregman starts off the inning at second base. They intentionally walk Yordan Alvarez. Hey, Matt Festa, you're now in. The first batter that you have to face, Yordan Alvarez. No, thank you. We're just going to walk him. Yainer Diaz singles. And I love it. I love it. So now we get bases loaded. No outs. Bases loaded, no outs. And my heart rate is just going up and up and up and up. And I'm like, okay, let's go, people. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Jakemeyers, have yourself a day, sir. Have yourself a day because he singles. Now it's 6-5. And we're just passing the baton. We are just passing the baton. Joey Loperfido, he also singles. 2 RBI single, mind you. Now it's 8-5. Now it is 8-5. Jeremy Pena lines out. Mauriciodubon lines out. Now we got 2 outs. Score's still 8-5. That's all right. We can do this, right? We got some insurance runs. It's all right. Trey Cabbage, have yourself a day, sir. The 7th pitch in that at bat. Hits a double. 2 more runs score. And now the score is 10-5. We love it. We love it. Now we got Chaz back up. And I'm like, Chaz, you're going to do something, right? Like, you got locked back in, right? No, he just leaves Trey Cabbage just out there. He don't want Trey to come home. That's okay, though. That's okay. So now remember how we said who was left? Contreras or Montero? If you've been watching this team at all, you're like, one of those names is not super recognizable. Which one of those names would that be? Contreras, Luis Contreras, because you know what? He has not been on this team longer than 5 minutes. Again, he came up with Brian King. So I want to say this is his 3rd appearance. So the fact that they trusted 2 guys in these high leverage situations that have been on the team for literally 3 2/3 minutes over Rafael Montero should tell you something, people. We've been telling you this. Rafael Montero Jr., they want to send to the moon. They do not want to use Rafael Montero at all in the ever of everness if they can help it. And if this doesn't show that, if this doesn't prove that point beyond a shadow of a doubt, because there are some people out there that are still Rafael Montero Jr. fans, and I don't know why, but here, I'm going to present this case to you.
And don't get me wrong, I think Montero has a place. I just don't think it's with any kind of leverage. So a runner on second, the ghost runner thing, he does not function. And I don't know if it's because he's now out of the stretch as opposed to the windup. For whatever reason, he just needs to start with a clean inning. And I think the Astros are aware of it because you had 2 opportunities to use him there and you did not. And we'll get into it next show, probably. I don't know, where they do use him. Real quick, a couple things about that epic top of the 11th. Joey Loperfido was 0-2. And rather than try to do too much, knowing that he just needed to put the ball in play, a pitch outside, he takes it. He goes right past Vientos down the line, which I thought was really good. Trey Cabbage, I did not know this until this game, has a higher first pitch swing than anybody on the team, even Jose Altuve, which is mind-blowing to me. So he swings first pitch more than Tuve does. And I bet you if you bet anybody money, you'd win every time because nobody's betting that anybody swings more first pitch than Trey Cabbage. And he battled and he got the double. And I've not seen him with a whole lot of emotion, but after he hit it, he's standing on second base and full flex, yelling and screaming. Definitely somebody that's trying to stick. I love that JoeEspada then rewarded him the next day with a start.
Absolutely. Guys, like I said, the hottest teams in June met, and the better team came out on top. I apologize, Mets fans. I went on a Mets podcast, shout out Subway to Shay, that had me on. We talked Mets at Astros, and it was hysterical because there's a lot of Mets fans, a lot of male Mets fans on there that was like, who is this girl talking baseball, knows her shit. What's happening? And so the show got a lot of praise. And so we got a lot of new Mets fans over here. I don't know if they'll specifically tune into the Astros edition, but I guess they were not aware of the two different editions. They didn't know that there's an Astros edition and the All the Balls edition. And so they were quite surprised. Let's just say that. And again, Mets fans, I love you. If we have a Mets Astros World Series, I think that would be hysterical and super fun. And I think the vibes on both sides would be really good because it's not a team that I hate on the other side. That would be great. I would
Also,
love that.
fun fact: the Mets and the Astros came into the league same year.
Oh, both expansion teams, eh?
Mhm.
Interesting. Very fun. But guys, it was a battle. And if the Mets get any sort of bullpen help, they are going to be a team that will be a force to be reckoned with in the NL. And I know that nobody in the NL is going to look at them that way, but you probably should. You should probably be a little bit weary of them. That's all I'm saying. We're going to wrap this up by telling you a little bit about the Blue Jays series. We are recording, like I said, on a Monday after we just won the Blue Jays game, but we're going to save most of the Blue Jays talk for the next episode after we wrap up. But I will tell you about the Blue Jays starting pitching matchups and what guys on their team to look out for, right? Because everyone remembers our good friend, George Springer. I would say normally, George Springer, don't be worried about George Springer. However, lately, he has gotten hot. He's gotten hot. He faced the Yankees, and apparently that got him locked back in. That's what happens when you hit 2 3-run home runs in, was it back-to-back innings, I want to say? Maybe.
Back to back at
Maybe you get lucky.
bats. Yeah, at bats.
Oh, yeah. So today was Diesel Day. Diesel, tip of the cap to you. Hunter Brown, we will give you more flowers on the next show, but today was Diesel Day. Hunter Brown versus Yariel Rodriguez. We took the game. We took the game 3-1. I said, we'll go over that game in its entirety next series, or excuse me, next episode. Tomorrow's game, Tuesday's game, is Spencer Arrighetti versus Jose Barrios. Jose Barrios is their number 2. Kevin Gosman, I think, is probably who they would pitch as their number 1. So we have Spencer versus Barrios, and that will be interesting. We'll see which version of Spencer Arrighetti we get. We'll see if we get the more locked in one that like we got last time. I don't think he's going to strike out 10, but he didn't walk anybody. And that's really the point that I wanted to just drive home, that he didn't walk anybody. And that's really what I want tomorrow. No walks. Hunter had himself a day today again, but he walked 3 people. The strike zone was shit. CB Buckner, you are the new Angel Hernandez. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. So Spencer Arrighetti versus Jose Barrios. We will see if Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is back in the lineup. He was not in the lineup today because of a sore
Hand.
4th and 5th finger or something like that. Discomfort. Let's just
The
finger
word of
discomfort.
2024.
Yeah. Jose Altuve also sat today. Had a day off today. So, we won a game without Jose Altuve, without Kyle Tucker. Yordan did things. Jeremy Pena did things. That's all we needed. You should be careful, though, of Davis Schneider, Spencer Horwitz. Obviously, Bo Bichette is still there. Justin Turner can obviously put the ball in play, get those big runs as well. IKF is there, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He was scratched late as well today, too. So we'll see if he's in the lineup tomorrow.
They played your guy.
Kevin Kiermaier.
Had all the buttons, had the hamburger meat out. He was putting on a show on Canada Day.
Kevin Kiermaier. Oh, my goodness. Kevin Kiermaier. Give me all of Kevin Kiermaier all day, every day. So that is Tuesday's game. Wednesday's game is ronelblanco versus Yusei Kikuchi. And let's tee off on Yusei, shall we? I think we always hit Yusei pretty well. I'm hoping that I am correct on that. I am correct on that. Altuve hits him well. Yordan, Dubon, apparently. McCormick, everybody. Everybody hits Yusei Kikuchi well. He's a left-hander. Fingers crossed, maybe this will get Chaslock back in. I don't know. I don't even know if Chaz will get to play. We shall see. And then on July 4th.
Yordan Day.
Yordan Day, because it is frambervaldez versus Chris Bassett. When I tell you that Chris Bassett is probably not looking forward to Yordan Day at all, not at all, people. Yordan has a 1783 OPS, 1.783 OPS. He has hit 5 home runs, 11 RBI in 18 at-bats, y'all. Apparently, whatever Chris Bassett is doing, Yordan says, I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to hit all of the things. Chris Bassett has 8 different pitches. Guys, I'm not saying that Chris Bassett is a scrub by any means, but the fact that Yordan is this superhuman against Chris Bassett, just all of the fireworks that day. Fingers crossed that we get the good Framber locked in. Fingers crossed. We'll be interested to see. Is it Cesar back there? Is it Yiner back there? It can't be Caratini.
Although he is working his way back.
He is working his way back. Justin Verlander did not make the trip to Canada either. Fingers crossed that it is actually just a neck thing and it doesn't turn out to be Tommy John like Christian Javier, because Christian had a sore neck and then came back for 2 starts and then said, oh, JK, now we need Tommy John. How you go from a sore neck to Tommy John, I don't know. But there was a tweet from Mets Twitter that said that JV did not travel with the team due to a hurt arm. And I was like, no, that's not why he's on the IL. He's on the IL for a sore neck. Edit your tweet. And then someone else replied back to me and said something about, no, the shoulder and the arm and the neck are all connected. And they're not saying that it's this, but they're saying that maybe, just maybe, that it is what Steven Strasburg had.
It was like thoracic outlet
syndrome.
Other.
Thank you.
But I don't think that's elbow ligament related, though.
Let's hope not. All I'm saying is that there's been precedent, right? Christian Javier had a sore neck, and then all of a sudden he had to have Tommy John, and I'm all, please just be a sore neck. That's all I'm asking for.
My conspiracy theory is he's 41, and this was planned rest in the middle. You will see him start immediately after the All-Star break.
Not a bad theory. I like it. Hopefully that's what it is. We are doing all this winning, guys, without Kyle Tucker as well. So you know what the real conspiracy theory is, Tom. The reason why we're winning.
All the moms went to Minute Maid and did the thing with the... No? Oh, okay.
Kyle Tucker's been the problem.
Trade him?
Kyle Tucker's been the problem. He's not been in the lineup.
We're not gonna do the Jose Abreu thing like everyone else. We're not gonna do that.
No.
Good. I didn't want to do that.
It's not Jose Abreu. No, it's Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker has been the problem. All this winning that we've been doing has been without Kyle Tucker. So obviously that means Kyle Tucker has been the problem. I'm totally just kidding. That's not what I actually believe. Just in case anyone actually thinks that my acting is just so good. That's not what I actually believe, people.
I can't wait for him to get back.
That too. I can also not wait until he gets back. But did you see Joey Loperfido and how he said that he took a sip of Kyle Tucker's
House Coke?
Yeah, and that's what got him locked in. And I was like, I love the dry humor. That makes me so happy. The fact that he just said it so nonchalantly and then just went about his business and just said the next sentence. I'm all, give me all of the dry humor, boys. I love it so much.
I think him and Kyle are going to do wonders for this team long term. They just dry humor back and forth.
Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. Absolutely. Like I said, we shall see what happens on 4th of July, Framber Day, Yordan Day, against Chris Bassett. That will be fireworks, regardless of what happens.
Also, one last thing. Joey Loperfido played first base in that extra inning game and played very well. The ball found him every time, not because they were just thrown over. He made a great stretch on a play that Bregman had. He played his position, and I think he fielded an unassisted one. So for everyone that's worried about Joey Loperfido being able to play first base because he lacks the time, totally not an issue in my opinion.
Yeah, he had to dig out one of the balls from, was it Pena? I think it was Pena. It was either Pena or Bregman. He had to dig that out of the dirt, and he stretched. I'm all, Joey, I need you to stretch more though, sir, because it looked painful. Please, all of the stretching, okay? I don't need you to blow a hammy trying to play first. More stretching. That's all I'm saying. With that said, Tom, tell all the peoples where they can find you on the interwebs.
At Third Coast Tom on Twitter, as you can see right under my face, if you are watching this on YouTube. At TC Tom1 on Instagram. I am still there, still occasionally dabbling over there. The PSF app, we are doing awesome stuff on the PSF app. The new duels peer-to-peer betting situation that they put out, the system, it's really fun. It's been doing really well. There are over 2,000 duels that have been launched and paid out one way or the other. It's a cool head-to-head setup. It's not one of these big tournaments that you got to be incredibly lucky. It's you versus Suzy or you versus me, and it's straight up stat-driven. Somebody's going to have more hits. Somebody's going to have more home runs, RBIs, this guy versus that guy. It's a lot of fun. I believe our next show is tomorrow.
Yes. Yep. So we have Spaghetti Day.
If you are not catching us on the PSF app, you're doing it wrong. If you are watching the game and not in the ballpark, And because they're in Toronto, you can't be in the ballpark. So you should be on the PS app, me and Suzy, rooting this team on as Spencer does his thing for, let's say, 7 Ks and 6 innings. And the Astros get another dub.
Listen, I'm not even that greedy, okay? Give me a quality start. Limit the walks. I'll take like 4Ks. I will take 4Ks, 6 innings, limit the walks. I will be happy, sir. I will be happy. We'll put all of those links in the show notes as well. And we will see you tomorrow, hopefully on the PSF app. Just look for the social media, any of the social medias. I will put all of the links there so you can join. And we will see you tomorrow, hopefully. And if not, we will see you next time we record. Side note, thank you to all of the people in the United States, who have listened to the show, who have shared the show. We appreciate you so very much because we charted back on the United States Apple podcast charts. I think it was 234. Was it 234? 232?
232.
232. Thank you. And thank you. I can't say thank you enough. So if you have not already subscribed to the YouTube, please do that. Please leave us all of the 5-star ratings. We would love that. Please leave the nice words because the nice words would warm my cold, black, dead heart. And maybe, just maybe, I may shed a tear. I don't know. I'll let you know if that happens though, okay? Just try it and see. Just try it and see. It's like a science experiment, people. So with that said, I am going to wrap up the show and say, yay, baseball! And record.